What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. Y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. So look, y'all, Foolio, Jacksonville rapper who was recently slain, right, at the hands of gunfire. His mother has come out and she made an Instagram post speaking about how she always spoke against him getting into this drill culture. She never condoned it. She always tried to tell him to take posts down, certain posts he was making on Instagram. She talked about being shot 8 times, due to some of her son's transgressions and how she always looked at it as she looked at his behavior as a bad thing, right? And so, I'm gonna say this too, man. I do believe his mother spoke against him engaging in street behavior and doing the stuff he was doing, right? I do believe that. But it comes to a point where some of your children are going to do what they want to do, regardless of what way you're trying to guide them, what path you're trying to send them down. And it's really hurtful. Like I talk about young boys getting into these street games and playing in the streets. You don't only get yourself hurt, you get your loved ones hurt. His mother was shot 8 times. That is ridiculous. Due to some stuff that he was doing probably and wilding out in the streets of stuff he was saying. More than likely. I'm believing that's what she was meaning. That's what she meant. I don't know, but I'm believing it may have been due to some stuff he was doing and saying, right? And that's horrific. Getting your family, if that's the case, if she was shot due to some things he was saying and doing, that's really hurtful. You know what I mean? Like your mother raised you to, be upright. She wants you to walk down a certain path. She want to lead you away from destruction. She wants you to be upstanding, and you partaking in stuff that gets her hit in the crossfire possibly. I'm assuming that she was shot due to some stuff he was saying and doing. If that's not the case, then okay. My apologies for that, right? But what I also saw was that I heard that Foolio'S father was a street dude, right? A street dude down there running around, right? And I'm gonna say this, and I caution women of this. When you procreate with a street dude, it is risky behavior. Now, I'm not faulting his mother at all for his untimely demise. I'm not faulting I'm not trying to basically take the blame away from the stuff that he was into. But what I'm saying is, a lot of times when a child is the child of a street dude, they start, especially when they living in the hood, they hear these stories about their father in the streets. Their father gets glorified for the atrocities he committed and how wild and reckless and how much of a savage he was and how much he was on demon time. And these kids become enamored with their father's image of being a street dude, like the young kids when they listen to their favorite drill rappers. They want to be just like them. You hear stories about King Von. These kids want to be just like King Von and all these other drill rappers. That happens to children when they listen to these stories of their father, right? A lot of times, because man, I don't care what nobody say. A lot of men live for the approval of their fathers, right? And whether their father is approving of it or not, a lot of times they want to walk in the image of their father, whether it was the past image or whatever. They get enamored with these war stories, and the old heads on the block send these kids off by telling them these stories, these heinous stories of their father, and getting it ingrained in their head. I gotta be like my dad to get respect. I gotta be wilding out like he was to be honored, to be respected, to be loved, to be saluted. I gotta be feared like he was, and they try to walk in that image. And it leads them down a path of destruction. Now, that's not always the case with everybody, right? Because I got street dudes in my family. I got street dudes, again, that's uncles, cousins, and all of that I love dearly. And some of their kids turned out to be the complete opposite, right? But that doesn't always happen. There are kids who, they see their kids doing wild stuff, and they go the same way. And that has happened among some of my loved ones and some of my friends, some of my family members, right? I think about, we're going to use a famous person. I remember when Lil Durk was on Vlad TV. Durk's father was in jail for like the first 27 years of his life. Okay, his father went in jail when he was like 8 or 9 months and was in there for 27 years. His father was, heavy within the GD organization in Chicago. This is his father's own words, right? His father was moving weight, or whatever. And I remember Vlad asking Lil Durk, "What's your favorite story of your father?" And Durk was talking about like his father getting caught with a certain amount of bricks of cocaine, and it was worth millions of dollars. And Durk seemed like a little kid fawning and admiring this story of his father. Durk was probably like in his early 20s at the time he's on Vlad TV. He's like 21, 22, right? But I'm looking how glowingly, how with a glow in his eyes, how glowingly he was speaking of his father, and how he was just like kind of like just amazed his father was getting to that type of money and moving that type of way. And who knows, man, it could have played a part on him going down the road he went, being in the streets, joining, being in the gang organization, and wilding out in the streets, and all of that has an effect on children. Hell, we can even take away a rapper, right? Look at movies and TV shows, because sometimes these these shows can be a reflection of real life. Look at Power. No matter how much Ghost tried to send Tariq to private school and raise him upright and trying to be this person and that person, Tariq wanted to be like his father now. Now, he didn't like his father, but I believe having his father having him around street dudes like Tommy, Uncle Tommy, and, his mother being hip to the game, and, him finding out that, what's meeting Dre through his father, and, meeting Kanan, who used to run with his father, that got him excited about being in the game. And then him knowing what his father did, it kind of made it feel like he was justified in doing it, even though his father didn't want him to do it. He looking like, okay, you did it. I want to walk in that path. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not blaming his mother at all for what happened to him, Foolio. That's his own actions. But I'm saying sometimes, and this could have been this situation, when you procreate, you have children with a street dude, they start getting it, they start admiring the street image of their father. And they want to go down a street path. That's not a cautionary tale for some of them. Some of them like, okay, I see the way he went. I want to go that way too. I want to be down. I want to be down like he was down. And then they lead a life of destruction, and the mama can't pull them away from it, because sometimes the daddy is in jail or he deceased, right? Or the daddy's still on the BS too. And sometimes the father be condoning in it. You know what I mean? Or sometimes the daddy want to pull him away from the negative stuff if he's alive and not in jail and all of that. But the kid has become so infatuated with these war stories of his father that he want to be like him. Even if the father ain't approving, he thinking, man, I want the respect my father got. My father might look at me and think, oh, that was a younger me. You know what I mean? And think that's going to get his father to be like respecting him in a way. You know what I mean? So that's a cautionary tale, man, for women. When it's risky. It can go either way. Either your child could be completely opposite from their father that was a street dude, or they can be the same type of person, or sometimes even worse. You know what I mean? And the next thing you know, your child is I love my son touching his little toy. Next thing you know, your son is into some mess, and some mess you never wanted him to be a part of, some stuff you probably tried to keep him away from because he's so busy trying to walk into the image of his father. So you got to be careful about that, man. It's risky behavior, because I'm hearing Foolio's father was a street dude. And if that's the case, he could have easily become, man, them war stories, probably could have fell in love with them war stories and feel like, I got to be just like that. Look at Menace to Society. Kane's father was a street dude. Pernell was a street dude, right? He wanted to be in the same type of, he wanted to walk in the same mold as Pernell and his father and all of that, right? He say Pernell raised him like a dad. Pernell went to jail, got life without the possibility of parole. Kane thought it was okay to be gang banging, to be shooting and unaliving people and selling dope. He thought that was all right, and so that's the thing, man. I always think about that, man. Like, even when I look at my little cousin, right? We come from hood environments. When I went to school and when I got my degrees or whatever, when I was coming back home to visit when I was in school, I was trying to make sure that my cousin saw me I wasn't a wild street dude at all anyway, so it wasn't nothing. I wasn't playing a role. But I wanted to make sure I was around my little cousins so they can see me, that I went to school. I got a scholarship to go to college. You know what I mean? I didn't game bang. I didn't smoke. I didn't drink. So they can know it was okay. It was cool to be a kid that didn't smoke, didn't drink, and just went to college. You know what I mean? I'm their big cousin. I'm much older than them, right? They seeing me be a member of Kappa Alpha Psi. I was also Mr. Mississippi Valley State University. They seeing positive images rather than like crazy wild story. I'm not wilding in the streets acting wild and crazy, because I'm knowing that's what they seeing. They listening to music like that. They seeing dudes in the hood wilding out. So it was important for me to come around and be a positive influence and a positive image for them to see. Now, of course, their fathers were positive people too, but you know what I mean? Sometimes kids can get easily sucked down the wrong path or get influenced to do other stuff from their surroundings sometimes too. So it's important for me to be like, yo, I'm in school, I'm in college, 10 hours away from home in Mississippi. I'm in school and I'm about to graduate, but it's risky behavior to procreate with a street dude, because it can go good or it can go bad. Peace.